Welcome to the channel. Now today we're going to figure out if you can use OSB sheeting for hanging shop cabinets as a cheap alternative to the much more expensive cabinet grade plywood. Now for those of you who don't really know what OSB is, here's a quick explanation. OSB is just an alternative to plywood as sheet material, and it's being used for roofs, for walls and for floors. Okay, so now plywood is usually glued together from multiple veneer layers and they're rotated up to 90 degrees to another. OSB, on the other hand, is just made from shavings and it's compressed together with glue and a ton of pressure and heat. It's a lot cheaper, it has twice the shear strength of plywood, but it's also heavier and screws and nails don't hold as well, and it has one big enemy. And that enemy is water. Now this piece here is sitting out here in the elements already since years, completely exposed, and this is what happened. You can see it swelled up, became completely brittle, and it starts breaking up into small chunks. Now even if it dries up completely, it never will return to its original shape like plywood can. Once it soaks up water like a sponge, it is completely ruined. Well, there's really no reason to expect any water damage in a garage. I have a dozen of those plastic boxes here. Let's see if I can build something reasonable from OSB that can hold a bunch of those. Now the thickest sheet I could get in my local Home Depot was 5/8 of an inch, which is meant for flooring, and it comes with a tongue and groove on the edges, which is not really what I need, but I didn't have a choice. Anyways, I started by cutting them in more manageable pieces outside, and then I used construction polyurethane glue with a couple brad nails to join the first two pieces together. I quickly realized that the 18 gauge brad nails don't have enough holding power, so I switched to screws instead. It was super important to pre-drill for every single screw. OSB really likes to delaminate and split if you don't. But if this is done correctly, you get a very strong joint with a combination of screws and glue. Well, considering what this is, I think it turned out pretty good. Now let's step it up a notch and build something a bit more complex for the other side here. Alright, so the second unit is done. Let me show you what I did here. On the left here, I kept it as simple as it can be and built a very basic storage shelf for my tool bags. And on the right here, I store all the glues and silicones and tapes. And I used two 22-inch full extension drawer slides to slide the section out of the way to access the second layer, which can hold spray cans and all my bench grinder wheels. Now this way, everything stays nice and visible and I don't have to dig through a deep shelf. Now, in case I have an extremely difficult day, or even if it's just time to celebrate, we can open layer number 3 for some happiness. Now, would I build something like this again, made from OSB? Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, OSB is not easy to work with. It's super hard to sand, the rough surface is hard to paint, and the moisture in the paint has a high potential to lift some of the shavings off the surface. But a nice piece of plywood in my local Home Depot that has a comparable thickness costs almost 3 times as much. And I'm not building high-end quality furniture here. Those are really just simple hanging shop cabinets. Well, and a minibar. And I would not hesitate to use OSB for that again, even though it's not my favorite material, but man, the cheap price is really tempting. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Now that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you in the next one.